restate the first reason, which is the subject of our discussion, and this is a strategy for growth. It is very true that by uniting, joining, or coming together, the businesses are able to increase their market share, product range, and geographical representation. Consequently, as a result, there is going to be growth in revenues and profitability. Now, other than this reason, what other reasons will make an entrepreneur consider amalgamating with other firms? Another reason, number 2, is to diversify risk diversification. Markets change both favorably and unfavorably. A business that only deals in one product or which serves one market, it is more exposed or prone to risk that may arise from adverse changes in the business environment. So that if a company is dealing in one product and the market for such a product changes negatively, for example, the taste and preferences of consumers change, and now they desire to buy other products, that company is going to be directly hit by that kind of a change. So when a company diversifies, it has an opportunity, one, to serve several markets. It is unlikely that 2 markets or 3 markets will change adversely at the same time. So that when one market changes adversely, the company is going to rely on the other remaining 2 markets. Similarly, if a company relies on one product, if that product is affected by changes in demand and market situations, then that company again is likely going to be threatened. So diversification again allows a company to have a range of products. So when one product is poorly performing, it is going to be supported and to rely on the other product lines. Another reason for diversification would be to reduce or eliminate competition. Now, organizations spend a lot of resources to deal with and manage competition, to fight each other. Sometimes businesses may consider to save on the resources they're using to fight each other or to manage competition by merging together. So if 2 direct rivals come together by way of horizontal integration, then what they have done is that they will tremendously save on those resources that they were using to manage the competition they were facing earlier by operating separately. Another reason for amalgamation is tax savings. A business that pays high taxes due to high profitability levels may consider amalgamating with a business that has been making losses. The reason for this is because if that happens, then tax losses are business losses are normally not taxable. So eventually, the total taxable income for the new entity will be reduced, and consequently, the tax liability or tax charge will go down. This is because the loss for the loss-making company will be offset from the high profit, and effectively the taxable income will come down and it will save in terms of tax payment. Again, another reason is asset backing. Asset backing. Sometimes it is cheaper to acquire a farm and its assets or existing assets as opposed to buying new ones, because of course when it comes to valuation of the farm's existing assets, they cannot be as costly as the new assets. In addition, firms also may consider to amalgamate to achieve what is known as synergy. Synergy takes the form of cost savings and additional benefits that come about as a result of large-scale operations, better known as economies of scale. When a firm increases the scale of operations, it saves on different fronts. Like for example, it now buys inventories or materials in bulk. And bulk buying attracts a good pricing and better discounts. Similarly, production activities, when it comes to costs of production, then the cost of production is going to be spread across many units, reducing the cost of producing a single unit. Similarly, it brings about management efficiency because the new entity he is able to pay has the ability to pay very skilled managers. And this way, the firm is likely going to have very efficient and skilled managers who are likely going to steer the new company to greater heights. Having discussed the reasons for business amalgamation, we will now identify the main types of business amalgamations. At the start, I did mention that business amalgamation is either going to give rise to a new entity, but not necessarily, so that sometimes it may be such that the firms involved will continue remaining separate or operating independently. Now, there are three types of amalgamations, types or forms of amalgamation. Which are mergers. We also have business acquisitions and takeovers. Mergers. A merger is going to be viewed as a combination of equals. A combination of equals. This means that the firms involved here have the same level of capitalization. They have similar market share. They have similar revenues, employee base, among others. They are equal in strength. So the two firms come together through a mutual agreement to form a new entity. So this is the coming together of multiple entities through a mutual agreement. To form a new entity. In this case, There is no one farm that is superior than the other one. They mutually agree to work together. Again, mergers will take several forms, so that we will have like 3 main types of mergers. Where we will have horizontal mergers. We'll also have vertical mergers and conglomerates. We will discuss each of these types of mergers so that we can understand them well. This is not only something you will be learning in this unit, you will as well learn it in other units later as you advance. So it is an item common to several units of the course. Starting with the horizontal merger. An horizontal merger is also known as parallel integration. And basically, this is where direct rivals, firms involved in producing and selling a similar products, so that their products are direct substitutes, come together to form a new firm or to form a new entity for that matter. So the two firms are serving in the same market or are serving the same market and are offering the same product, making them direct rivals. They decide to merge together. So it's where it's the integration of two or more firms that deal in the same product, deal in similar products, and serving same market. Differently put, direct rivals. Why would such firms consider coming together? The main reason for such a merger, other than synergies, is to try and reduce the intensity of competition, because the firms will be spending a lot of resources to fight each other. The second type of a merger is a vertical merger. And a vertical merger, on the other hand, is also known as sequence integration. This is where firms in different stages of production for a common product decide to come together, to merge, to form a new entity. When we say firms at different levels of production of the same product, it is the same firms in a value chain. The value chain starts with the source of the raw materials, proceeds to transformation processes, and to the merchandise or sale of the product. So farms in the different stages in the value chain may decide to come together, and that is what will be deemed to be vertical integration. So we are defining vertical integration as the integration of farms at different stages along the value chain. Using a diagram, we can depict the vertical integration so that we have our farm providing raw material company. Then there is a manufacturing farm making use of the raw materials being produced by the earlier company, and then a company involved in the sale of the final product, retail company. Now, this kind of an integration is going to be in two directions, so that the value chain proceeds in that direction or flows in that direction. Provision of raw materials, transformation of the raw materials, and the sale of the raw materials. Either this farm, manufacturing company decides to acquire, buy, or merge with the raw material company, or the manufacturing company decides to merge with the company involved in the sale of the product. If this happens, then it's going to be defined as backward, or referred to as backward vertical merger. And the main reason why this company would consider to merge with this company is to become its own supplier of the raw materials. It is to ensure sufficiency and effectiveness in the supply of raw materials. It becomes its own supplier of the raw materials, so that doesn't depend on other suppliers. If this happens, then this will be described as forward vertical merger. And the reason why this company would consider acquiring or merging with a company involved in the sale of the product is in order to guarantee a ready market for its product. It is as good as the company is selling its own products. So there will be no challenges when it comes to selling or merchandising the product.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to get yourself a copy of our professionally prepared study text and revision partners. Visit our shop along Tom Boyer Street, Pioneer House, 3rd floor, opposite Fire Station.